Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome to my channel. Today's story is a little bit weird in the sense that I'm not really sure how much OP is getting across, as in how much of it is true. But that being said, he reaches out to Reddit because he feels like his wife is giving way too much importance to his sister-in-law, and not just importance but time and energy, and not giving that time and energy to her family, which includes OP and their daughter. It gets incredibly weird because I cannot even imagine what OP's wife does in the update. It's really stupid. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say for now. Stay tuned for the update to find out what happens. I do hope that you enjoyed this story. If you do, please leave a thumbs up. And before I move on to the story, I just wanted to take a second and thank all of my subscribers. Thank you so much. You guys are so wonderful. For those that are new here, if you like my content and would like to support me, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button. Anyways, thank you so much for your time and onto the story. My wife told me to shut my mouth in front of a bunch of people at a kid's birthday party. My wife and I have been having recent disagreements regarding her sister-in-law, who's also her best friend, who's married to her brother. Long story short, she goes out of her way to fulfill their every request, including babysitting and running errands. She even volunteers my help without informing me or seeking my consent. She never acknowledges my perspective or agrees with any criticism that I have about them. Today, we attended my nephew's birthday party. My sister-in-law hosted the event, so my wife was particularly invested in making sure things went smoothly. Initially, everything was fine, but then my 3-year-old daughter became upset because her balloon animal accidentally popped. She was standing with my wife, seeking comfort, when an older boy, around 5 or 6 years old, suddenly ran into her and knocked her over. Naturally, she began crying, and I promptly picked her up. Instead of empathizing, my wife made a joke saying, "Oh, she needs to watch where she's going." In response, I told her, "Don't blame her for getting knocked over by the bigger boy." Apparently, the other child's mother overheard our conversation, prompting my wife to chastise me in front of one of her close friends and a couple of other guests, telling me to keep my mouth shut. To add insult to injury, she then had the audacity to tell me not to look moody. 15 minutes prior to writing this post, I sent an email to a divorce lawyer to schedule a consultation. I have finally reached my breaking point. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone for your responses, whether they were supportive or otherwise. Being heard and listened to provides a significant mental boost. I spoke to my solicitor first thing this morning and we had a productive conversation. He understands my anger and frustration regarding the situation. He assured me that if we decided to pursue a divorce, he will arrange a consultation for both myself and my wife. In Scotland, obtaining a divorce where only one party wants to end the marriage can take over a year, requiring evidence of separation during that period, unless both parties agree to cite unreasonable behavior as a reason for the court's approval. Long story short, I can't proceed without her cooperation if I want a swift resolution. Afterwards, I took my daughter to my mother's house and then had a serious conversation with my wife. I expressed that yesterday's situation was completely unacceptable and explained that if I had told her to shut her mouth in front of my friends, I would face severe criticism from everyone I would know. I also mentioned that she was fortunate that I had chosen to keep my mouth shut at the party and that I did not care about how her sister-in-law would have reacted. We argued again about her sister-in-law, and once again, she defended her actions, accusing me of being selfish for not helping out my family when they needed it. As a perhaps petty move, I dropped divorce leaflets which I had printed from my solicitor's website in front of her. I told her, I absolutely want to help my family and this is how I intend to do it. I expressed my exhaustion from feeling like a third wheel in my own marriage and conveyed that I had refused to subject my daughter to a lifetime of subservience. Ultimately, it appeared that my words had an impact. She began crying, and I believed that she was on the verge of having a panic attack. This made me feel guilty because deep down I don't believe that she's a bad person. She's simply been influenced to view her sister-in-law as an extraordinary figure. She promised that we could have a serious conversation about our issues when I finish work today, and she'll listen to my concerns. At this moment, I'm skeptical, but I owe it to her and my daughter to give it a chance and to try to resolve things. I will see how it unfolds. To address some of the questions raised, I understand that this may seem like an overreaction to a single incident, but you must comprehend that it was the latest episode in a series of problems related to my sister-in-law. Some individuals have asked if my wife might be gay and in love with her. I have considered this as a possibility but have not yet broached the subject. However, I may bring it up tonight, as it seems a plausible explanation given her intense passion about the matter. Once again, I want to express my gratitude to everyone for reading, especially those who have sent me direct messages. Your support means more to me than you can imagine. Hi everyone, I appreciate your ongoing support and advice. I wanted to provide another update and let you know what has been happening. Last night, we had a crucial discussion. I have to give credit where it's due. She apologized for her behavior at the party and acknowledged that she would have considered divorce if the roles were reversed. I reiterated that my main concern is her tendency to prioritize her sister-in-law over her own family, which comes at our expense. I pointed out how problematic it was that she didn't immediately side with our daughter in the incident. While the collision was likely accidental, I expressed that blaming our little one was unfair and she agreed. Then I directly asked her if she had any romantic feelings for her sister-in-law. She appeared uncomfortable and squirmed a bit. She admitted that a long time ago, towards the end of high school, there was a drunken kiss during a night out, but nothing more than that. She played the angle that she didn't want anyone, especially her brother, to know about it, and that's why she goes to great lengths to keep her sister-in-law happy. I inquired that if sister-in-law ever threatened to expose this incident, but she denied that it had ever been brought up. She believes that if the extended family were aware, it would create a lot of awkwardness. She swore that she had no interest in pursuing any kind of relationship with her sister-in-law, and that she identifies as straight. I expressed that I didn't care about what happened so long ago, but it needed to stop affecting our present relationship because I'm on the verge of walking away permanently. Surprisingly, she apologized again and committed to making a genuine effort to the change. I made it clear that I needed to see evidence of this, so I told her she was on probation. I also informed her that if I witness a recurrence, I will take our daughter to stay with my mother. She accepted this condition and we're proceeding cautiously. I apologize if this update isn't what you were hoping for, but I believe that it's the best course of action for the three of us at this moment. I've posted here multiple times about the issues that I've been facing with my wife, particularly regarding her subservience to her best friend turned sister-in-law. She has promised to work on this problem due to its significant impact on our marriage. However, today, I believe we have reached a point of no return. Today happens to be my birthday, although it's already past midnight now. This morning, my almost 4-year-old daughter gave me big hugs and kisses, which was wonderful. My wife gave me a card and informed me that my gift hasn't arrived in the mail yet. I suspect that either she hasn't ordered it or ordered it late, whatever the case may be. I then logged on to work and carried out my shift as I would on any other day. My wife had the day off and my daughter was visiting my mother. No special plans were made for the evening because there were already arrangements in place. However, those plans did not include me. Sister-in-law and a couple of my wife's other friends had organized a dinner and drinks outing because sister-in-law had a voucher for a special restaurant that was expiring soon, and my birthday happened to be on the only date everyone could make it. Pretty awful, right? It gets worse though, because my wife made a big social media post wishing me a happy birthday, claiming how unfortunate it was that I had to work all night on my birthday, which is a complete lie. However, this post makes her appear less guilty in public for not spending my birthday with me. The problem is that now I can't make plans with my friends or family without exposing her live. So yeah, it was a fantastic birthday. When I think about how she would react if I had pulled even half of the things that she had done, I can't imagine it ending in any way other than me getting screamed at, even though she chooses to spend my birthday with sister-in-law instead. On the plus side, I did some Warhammer painting after picking up my daughter and played with her a bit before bedtime. She also asked why mommy wasn't there, which really crushed me. Am I wrong to feel annoyed about this? Hi again. Firstly, I want to say thank you very much for all of your responses and private messages. Many of you were supportive, and many of you, rightly upon reflection, told me that I needed to grow some backbone and sort out my issues. I've been holding on to this for a few days because the events that have unfolded since then have blown my mind and shed light on some harsh truths about my relationship. However, I also wanted to see if what happened would actually stick, and so far, it has. First, to answer the fun question that some of you had about my painting, I was painting some Thousand Suns Terminators. So, starting the day after my birthday, my wife initiated sex. And let me tell you, that was an occasion in itself. I honestly can't recall the last time that happened. I thought to myself, maybe she's feeling guilty about yesterday and tried to make it up to me. Afterwards, she turned to me and said, "Your present won't be here for another couple of days. That will have to do for now." And at this point, I felt pretty disappointed. Not because I had a strong desire for a specific gift, but because she had thought that her behavior the other day was acceptable. And then for her to think, "I'll use sex to cover up my mistake," was also a blow. Anyway, I've endured worse and pushed through. What broke me was her opinion of sister-in-law's birthday. In case you don't know, sister-in-law is possibly my least favorite person on the planet due to her parasitic behavior and the main character syndrome. Coincidentally, her birthday falls a couple of weeks after mine. My wife told me all about her birthday plans for sister-in-law. She wanted to get her a gift for her favorite massage therapist. What was the big deal? The shop only sells paper vouchers and it's a 3-hour round trip to the shop. So off she went, again leaving me with our daughter. And what followed can only be described as 3 hours of my brain simmering towards an explosion. I took my daughter to my brother's house because I knew that I was going to explode when my wife returned. When she came back, I was sitting in the living room with a bag packed for myself, in an admittedly petty move, and one packed for my daughter. This immediately got her attention and she demanded to know what was happening. I let it all out. It wasn't coherent and my emotions escalated as I expressed my grievances. I started by telling her that it was unacceptable how she completely messed up my birthday while making sister-in-law's birthday a top priority. I expressed how tired I was for feeling like a third wheel in my own marriage, how I had sacrificed my personality to keep her happy, how I no longer saw my friends while she could do whatever she wanted, and how I took care of the house despite working more hours than her without even a shred of gratitude. I also confronted her about using sex or lack thereof as a tool of manipulation and control. I cried and shouted and she did the same while vehemently denying all of my accusations. She demanded to know where our daughter was and I told her. I made it clear that she would not use our daughter as a bargaining chip against me. Eventually, we calmed down enough to agree that I would keep our daughter at our house while she temporarily stayed with her parents. I agreed to drop her off for visits while I worked things out. It's been a few emotionally exhausting days. I feel drained, spent, and tired. But I have my little girl, and I feel like I've done what I could. I don't know what my relationship status is at the moment. We haven't been speaking except to arrange drop-offs, and for now I'm comfortable with that. I need more time before considering more permanent steps. I've never unloaded on her like this before, but Jesus Christ, it felt good, even if she continued to deny everything. So guys, what did you think about this? Honestly, if we take OP's word about everything and all of the actions, everything was true, I think that the wife is really horrible. Like, what on earth was she thinking? I would never, ever even think about doing that to my partner. Like, what? Oh my god. I definitely think that there's something fishy going on between her and her sister. Like, I feel like she's at the very least is emotionally cheating on OP with the sister-in-law. I don't know, it does sound very fishy. That being said, I feel like OP's recount of this whole situation is very biased. I mean, I understand that we're going to be biased when we're sort of portraying everything, but that being said, when reading the story, I got the vibes that OP was omitting some stuff about their relationship. I don't know, I could be wrong, but anyways, let me know what you guys think. There has been an update about his relationship since the last post, so I assume that they're separated and working on divorce. I do hope that you enjoyed this story. If you do, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a thumbs up. And please subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories from Reddit with updates.